Next topic after the War of Independence is what were the measures taken by the British following the War of Independence. So the first measure that Britishers took was the end of East India Company rule. British basically passed the Government Act of 1858 in which they ended the East India Company rule, and they also appointed the Secretary of State of India. He was appointed in London and he would have a control of all the affairs of India. So basically now the British had a complete control, direct control over the affairs of the Indians. The second thing they did was they reorganized their army, as they have now felt that rebellion could take place from any area. So what they did, they reduced the Indian soldiers' recruitment, they increased the British soldiers. They also applied divide and rule policy in which the recruitment was done so that the unity is not formed. Like they appointed people from different areas of India so that they can make sure that there is no unity amongst those people. Like Pathans, Sikhs and Gorkhas, they were recruited. Next is that Indians were kept away from artillery positions. So these positions in which they could have an easy access to weapons, in which they are easily able to use the weapons against the British. So they were kept away from that position. The third is that they increased their respect for princes and landlords. What they did, they promised them not to annex princely states unless and until there is a very strong reason behind. So they were now getting back from the doctrine of lapse. Next is supported loyal princes and landlords. They were also supporting the zamindars so that whenever they want, they can gain their support. Fourth one, they initiated Proclamation Act of 1858 in which they said that there will be an equal treatment of all under law. Protection of religions will take place, like they will not interfere in any of the religious practice of the Indians. And lastly, the government jobs will be given to the Indians based on merit. Fifth one, we have they punish the Indians with harsh repressions. What they did, they executed thousands of rebels in order to teach others that if they will do it next time, so they will also face the same repercussions. Next is the properties of suspected rebels were confiscated, and the villages who supported rebels were also punished. So basically they tried to make sure that Indians, if they rebelled against the Britishers again, so this is how they are going to be treated. Lastly, they also expanded transport. What they did, they expanded their railways, their telegraph lines, their roads. We have also seen this earlier as well, that it became the reason against them for the War of Independence, but instead they expanded it just to make sure that whenever they need to have a control in a rebellious area so that their troops can easily reach them within no time.